This video presentation is for Organizational Behavior, Final Exam 2019. I was hired as a third-party consultant to look into a hospital for one of a large healthcare organization. They had 8 hospitals under their umbrella, and this hospital was the one that was underperformed the worst out of all 8. They asked me to look into the radiology department, as that department was the worst out of all of the hospitals. Yearly, each employee is given an annual review to review the management and the performance of management and what they feel the issues are in the department. In addition, radiology has been underperforming in its outpatient services, inpatient services, and referrals over the last year. We were asked to evaluate what was going on with the referral patterns for MRI and CAT scan and interventional procedures. MRI was down over 25%, CAT scan was down about 18%, and interventional was down about 6%. This was compared to the prior year for all the numbers that they had given us. As part of the process to evaluate the department, we will interview the radiology director. Radiology has 2 managers in this department, so we will interview both of them, as well as many of the employees in the department. After gathering all the information, we will come up with our conclusion, as well as ways that we feel that we can fix the problems or give suggestions of what is needed to fix the problems. We decided to interview the employees before we interviewed any of the upper management, as we wanted to see what the feelings were and what the problems they felt were going on in the department for lack of performance. Upon interviewing multiple people from multiple departments, the one common denominator that we found was lack of leadership. There was no direction of leadership. Leadership did not give any type of security to these employees. They felt that the department was going in a downward direction. They felt that upper management, the director and managers, did not care about its employees, what was going on with their employees. All they cared about was the numbers that they would push out, as well as coverage for the department. Multiple employees relate to us that management would not cover shifts, and they would have the on-call person cover the shifts instead of having a per diem or part-time person cover. And they would do this last minute, so employees would be pretty upset that they had to alter plans. While they understand they were on call, they didn't feel that they had to actually work the shift. On call was to be something that would be used in an emergency if the tech needed backup, or the tech called in sick, or there was an issue. They felt that management really didn't care about their needs, or they care about that they had to work because they weren't the ones that were going to work. They also felt that when they brought concerns to management, they weren't taken seriously. Management would basically listen and not do anything when it came to any of the concerns. There were no changes, only what management wanted to do. And again, this came from numerous people. Besides problems with coverage, there were also limitations in outpatient services as far as appointment times, and availability of outpatient appointment times, which severely limited the radiology department as far as MRI, CAT scan, and interventional, being that the limited or cut down appointment times would take the higher priced and higher paying customers and limit that to being replaced with inpatients being done, which were paid at a much, much lower rate. There was also a major problem with authorizations. When it was brought up to upper management, they looked at it and they said that they would take care of it, or they would escalate it, which they never did. And we were told that it was brought to the VP of operations, which, when he was given this information, knew nothing about it. So the communication between the radiology director and the VP pretty much wasn't there as well. These feelings were expressed by pretty much each employee that we interviewed, and they felt that they weren't taken seriously on any issues, and all they cared about was what they can do, and there wouldn't be any giving as far as management is concerned. After speaking to management, we started with the radiology director. We interviewed him, asked him what he felt the problems were, what the solutions that he felt would help the hospital organization. We also interviewed the manager separately and found surprisingly conflicting information from the director to the manager, in fact, even from manager to manager and from manager to employee. So much that certain situations that were simple situations were made much more complex, and each one of these managers handled it completely different, giving employees mixed messages, which only caused more confusion in the department. After sitting down with everyone, we evaluated all of our information that we received. We found that management was operating in an autocratic way, basically just doing what they wanted to do, not taking input from the employees, even though they said that they were going to be taking input from them and they would take care of issues as they came up. Autocratic leadership is characterized by individual control over all decisions with little input from the group members. And this is what we felt that was happening in this department. We feel that management at least needs to be retrained, and a different leadership style needs to be used for the department. We feel that management is lacking the education that is needed to run a large department like this. The communication skills are lacking. So we feel that trying to get some classes in leadership could help. There should be follow-up by the VP of operations on a monthly basis. There should be weekly meetings held, and employees should be included in these weekly meetings. There should be a committee from one person from each department to discuss problems and issues and solutions.